All right, so let's make sure we're working here. Let me make sure I have my earphones in the right earphone set. Let's get into talking about AEW this week. So I want to make this very, very clear. And I got to get some stuff off my chest this week. First and foremost, about this whole I'm an AEW apologist / fanboy, and I'm just a shield for AEW, right? And I hear this all the fucking time. Look, I praise a lot of companies and I praise a lot of different things, okay? First and foremost. But I want to get this off my chest. I do this for fun. I have no allegiance to any company. And I have friends that'll sit here and go, "Oh, it's okay. Well, you're an apologist, blah, blah, this and blah, that." I'm done. I don't need to cover wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Like, if you want to act that way towards me and you want to just keep regurgitating the same shit, I don't need to cover wrestling. I don't need to be watching it every week. It takes time out of my world to do it. It takes time out of my world to cover the news. I can go and game stream. I can get up early in the morning, work out, and have all this time to game stream because that's my bread and butter. I don't need to cover wrestling. Nothing says I have to. I'm not making anything at this. I get told I'm this, that, and the third when it comes to talking wrestling. I'm this, that, and the third because why? Because I defend AEW. I'll tell you why I defend AEW sometimes, right? Sorry, AEW. Is because a lot of people are like sitting back just like they do the same thing they did with TNA. Saying, "Oh, it's going to die. Oh, it's going to be this. Oh, Tony Khan's this. Oh, Tony Khan's that." And at the end of the day, TNA's still here. Well, where are those people that said TNA was dying? Where are they at now? Where are they at? I'm waiting. You're the same very people that sit and talk about ratings all the time. You're sheep. You're weak. You're sheep to me. You're geeks. You're worrying so much about views and what companies are doing instead of watching the product and enjoying the product. You're so worried about these national ratings that are not even being counted properly every fucking week depending on the company. Why? You know those ratings are not accurate, right? You know DVR views are not being counted. You know that, right? Do you know streaming views are not being counted? So WWE could be pulling more ratings. AEW could be pulling more ratings. TNA could be pulling more ratings. But you fuckers all care about it. You're sheep. You're fucking sheep. I don't care what company's doing what. I could quit watching wrestling and just game stream and not give two behinds about WWE, TNA, or AEW, honestly. I'm going to be honest with you folks. I do this because I love it to an extent, and I do this for you guys. But if you guys want to continue calling me this, that, and the fucking third, and then some of you come into my game streaming comment sections and you want to open threaten me with weapons and shit and hurt my family or me over my comments over wrestling, my opinion about who's going where and why, which is so deafening to me, which boggles my fucking mind. I just want to get this one off my chest. Fuck these companies. I don't have an allegiance to what company, who's paying me what and why. I hear all the time I'm an AEW apologist. I don't have to watch AEW. Shit. I do this for fun. This is a fucking hobby. I don't need to watch AEW. I could quit watching AEW and do just pro WWE shit. What are you going to tell me then? Oh, I'm a WWE apologist now? I could quit watching wrestling altogether. What are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell me at that point? And then I hear about national ratings all the time, right? Do you know about 15% of that's not being counted, right? But I'm the smart mark, right? I'm the fucking asshole that fucking goes in depth. I'm the Stephen A. fucking Smith of this shit. I've been doing this for 18 fucking years. Let me tell you, I was a game journalist. Let me tell you how business works, homie. To those people, to my friends that sit here and call me an AEW apologist, let me tell you this. You're up for a rude awakening, and I will start roasting people if I have to, and I don't give a fuck. I'm becoming the devil. You know why? Because I have so many people that openly sit here and talk about I'm so-called this, that, and the third. But you don't realize what shit I eat when I do this shit. Do you know how many people have threatened me over my comments, over Sasha Banks, that I don't give a fuck? Or Okada? I'll sit and stream on YouTube and I'll have somebody say, I want to massively hurt you because, oh, I said this about this. And I'm so-called an AEW fucking apologist. I have people coming to me and telling me, oh, I want you on your show because you're an AEW defender. What? Why should I be on your show if you think that of me? That's bullshit to me. I do this for fun. I've been doing this for 18 fucking long years. I've been on many different podcasts, many different shows, very famous people too. I do this because I love this shit. And I love people in general that love my content. But it's absurd to me that I have to hear that I'm an AEW cocksucker that sucks on Tony Khan's ballsack. What the fuck? I have called AEW garbage before. I think you guys pick what you want to hear in my comment section, right? Like, for instance, the AEW video game, right? Most of you motherfuckers think I was praising it when I sat back and I played more of WWE 2K20 fucking 3, and you want to sit here and tell me that I was sitting here calling AEW the best video game in the fucking world? What? Well, what? I said the game is missing content. I said for $60, I took a chance on a $60 fucking video game. Go watch my footage. Go watch my content. I don't think people watch my content. I don't think people hear that I shit all over the video game within my game streams. You got another thing coming if you really think that I'm an AEW fucking shill. And I'm really getting annoyed with people when they say this to me. It really pisses me the fuck off. I cover pro wrestling. Before AEW was even a thing, I was praising Impact Wrestling. I stopped watching wrestling for 6 long fucking years. Let me tell you that. Because it was dog shit, it was boring, it was depressing to watch. After CM Punk left, and after the shit died down with The Rock, Cena, I was done with wrestling. I got knees deep in video games and being a journalist. Because that was more interesting than what's going on with WWE. Then I saw what was happening in NXT and I came back to watching it. Women's wrestling interested me because what was going on with the Shield, Sasha Banks, things like that. And I became literally a WWE guy, and then I met people in the industry and I, did podcasts, and then I came back into this shit. I find it funny how people are sheep, how they're weak-minded, and they want to believe what they want to hear. They want to roll with a narrative and watch. And I see my stats. You guys watch 1 minute and 40 seconds of my video, and you want to tell me I'm an AEW apologist. You got nothing coming. You don't watch my full shit. You don't watch my full opinion. My full opinion of AEW, I'm glad the ranking system's here. I'm glad that they kind of did a 180 tonight with Swerve and Hangman Page. And I hope they protect both of these guys with a fuck finish next week so we have a triple threat at fucking Revolution. I think that's going to be great for business. And then you have Swerve Strickland get put over. There's your answer to that one. You don't. You're looking like shit, and I'm going to be bitching about Tony Khan. I bitched already about Triple H being weak during the fucking press scrum. Saying he fucked up all that and should have handled it better. Oh, But I'm going to be called an AEW shill, right? The reason I'm coming off, firing off, because I've had a lot of you lately, and it's really annoying me when I cover wrestling. I cover wrestling because I enjoy this shit. I don't sit here and waste my time. If you want to waste my time, I don't have to cover it anymore. I don't have to watch wrestling anymore. I have better things to do with my time. I do this because I have people that actually give a shit about my opinion, and you could see it by my views that actually my opinion actually matters. Sorry to tell you. Oh, by the way, let me phone home to somebody. Let me get on my iPhone real quick. Hold on. Let me get on the iPhone and actually call Dave Meltzer. Hold on. Let me get Dave Meltzer on my phone real quick, because some of you believe that shit. Dave Meltzer's been a fucking pile of shit lately with fucking rumors. And I've even said that in my own stream. Don't believe what you hear. And actually, I put the fucking links down below in my description so you guys can fucking read fucking what I'm saying to you. And I give my own opinion on the damn bitch. So at the end of the day, if you don't like that, there's the fucking door. I've had to bench geeks out of my fucking chat for literally being stupid. You guys don't watch my channel. If you would hear, I have shit on AEW before many times. Hook, I've shit on openly on stream and off stream, on Twitch, Kick, and Livespace. I stream to 8 platforms. I've shit all over him. I've shit all over the fact of that they should have brought the ranking system. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, coulda. Now they're doing it. People are still bitching. Oh, wait. They had a crowd tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, they had a crowd. What? Where's those people that tell me, oh, well, they're dying? If they were dying, why was there a crowd? I saw a crowd tonight of people actually lively. Where are you people at with the pictures? Where? Oh, wait. You roll a narrative. You're the same sheep that roll a narrative about products. Where were you 3 years ago? 2 years ago when WWE was failing? Where were you? Where were the comments? Oh, that didn't happen. That didn't fucking happen. I love how people, my friends, anybody have these double standards when it comes to wrestling. It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind that I have to hear about national ratings on a weekly fucking basis. Guess what? Do you know DVR views are not being counted? You know streaming TV views are not being counted? You know it's only cable and satellite? Open your third eye in your fucking brain. Actually, stop reading what you hear because it's not accurate. I've said that for months. Watch my videos. I've gotten it off my chest now. I feel great about it because I'm going to start benching geeks that want to turn around and call me shills. Anyway, let's get into talking about AEW. It's good I got that rant off my mind because it's been fucking pissing me off for a while. And it's people in general. It's like, what are we doing as in people? What are we doing? And then I have to hear some of you that X-post me tell me, oh, well, you know, Vince McMahon. And justifying, you can't justify Vince McMahon, but please don't. You want to piss me off? Justify Vince McMahon and his actions to me. He should be erased like Chris Benoit. And I don't care what somebody tells me. And don't tell me this woman just gave it up because she needs to give it up. You need to understand how corporation works. It's the same very people are saying, well, gee willikers, what Microsoft did with Activision is so, you don't know how business works. It's like when people were telling me Netflix, right? Netflix is never, ever going to sign a wrestling product. They don't have the money for that. I was told that many times. Guess what? They did. To those people, you look like fools. You look like fools. What's up, boss man? What's up, Pesci? Sorry, I got to read comments. I'm on one. So, anyway, AEW tonight, I'm not going to tell you it was a great show. Because if I tell you if it's a great show, people are going to fucking tell me I'm just an apologist and a fanboy. All I do is suck Tony Khan's ass, right? I kiss his farts, right? It was a good show to me. I thought it was decent. I thought AEW's trying to make some moves, use the ranking system here and there. I liked the women's stuff tonight. I thought it was fantastic. Oh, by the way, the women's match. Oh, I'm talking about their women's division. They actually had a segment. Actually did some things. Building for Revolution. They've been building with this for a while now. If you actually watch the product, which a lot of you just skim through and talk all this shit. Hit 1 million. Royal Rumble hit 1 million. Well, who cares? Did you enjoy this show? That's the question. Did you enjoy the show? Instead of talking about views, did you enjoy the show? Everybody I hear about ratings, it's like, did you enjoy the show or do you just care about numbers? Why watch the show? You could just go watch the ratings tomorrow. You can go on ESPN and click on the views and see what's going on. Did you enjoy the show? Did you put effort into the show to watch? That's my point. My point is being proven. If you only care about ratings, then wait the next day and just read the ratings and go, gee, Willikers, 2 million views. AEW sucks. TNA sucks. You know, my thing is, if most people that I hear in my comment section only care about views, and it's sad to me. It sucks. And it sucks to see people actually just really caring about views than actually caring about the actual show. If you actually watch the show, there's storylines. There's actual things. If you cared about views, you don't need to watch the show. Just go to the next day on Washington Journal or F4W and just watch that shit, you know, all day long. All right. Anyway, let's get into talking about AEW tonight. I don't want to keep going on. I'm just going on about my comment section and what people are telling me half of the time, and I just wanted to get on that. I wanted to get that rant off my chest. I was gonna get it off today when I was doing an IRL stream today, and I wanted to go on a tangent then, but I had people around me that were walking the trail, and I didn't want to look like a jackass, you know, go whoa at people. So, you know, I don't want people thinking that I'm just a raving fucking lunatic sometimes like that. But anyway, I will say Diana Purrazzo and the whole Taya Valkyrie thing was great. I like that. Taya Valkyrie we haven't seen in a minute. She's been on Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor with Johnny, but most people don't watch Ring of Honor. That's justified because people don't want to pay the $9.99. I get that. You go get the 7 C's. Let's see. I lived the show. We watched it together. Yeah, we did. We did. But what I'm talking about is people in my comment section. So you guys know, I get a lot of comments on my channel, and I get a lot of hate because I give an opinion and a mouth. Welcome to the internet, right? But here's the thing. I'm okay with comments. I'm okay with people telling me, but I'm really getting tired of the regurgitation. And what you guys don't realize is that I get people in my game streams. When I'm game streaming on YouTube, I've had to sack people out of my chat for threatening my family and me with weapons. You guys don't understand, like, I went up 175 subscribers, right? Or more. And I have big, prominent wrestling channels watching my shit. The frustrating part is, here's the frustrating part. It stops becoming fun when you start having people threaten your life. It stops becoming fun when I get regurgitated at. That's my point. And I've been on these tangents the last 3 weeks. It's because people don't watch my content. They pick what they want to hear and they roll with a narrative. And the narrative is I'm so-called this AEW defender when I'm not. There's weeks and times that I don't watch wrestling at times because I'm so busy in my world. Well, Hook's green. See, what people don't realize, Hook is green. They didn't drop the ball with Hook. Hook is still growing. Hook is young. Hook has got a long time. He's not even in his prime yet. Hook just got a title opportunity. Name me what 24-year-old gets a title shot right off the rip and actually gets put over by the champion himself. I can tell you, Hook's been put over many times. Hook is still proving his craft and homing his craft. How old is Hook? Let's go look. Hook AEW. Let's go look that up. He's got time. He's got plenty of time. Yeah, Hook's 24 years old. Like I said, he's got plenty of time. He's not even hit his prime. He's not even hit his ceiling yet. He's still got a lot to prove in AEW still. Honestly, I think Hook should go to WWE personally. I think he would fit very well in an NXT system. I've said that before. But I think AEW, they're starting to push him a little bit. He's still young. Look at the guy for Christian Cage, right? He's 19. You don't need to go push this guy to the moon at 24 years old. Have him work. You know, Hook will eventually be a champion of some sort in AEW. It's just not today. He's holding the FTW championship. That's a non-recognized title, but still, he'll be back in the title hunt. Now with the ranking system, Hook gets enough wins, he'll be back there. They showed it tonight. AEW showed tonight the ranking system, and if they go along with the ranking system, it'll be fine. I just want Tony Khan not to forget that. Now, I was going to cover NXT last night, and real quickly on a side note on that, because I got to talk about Trick Williams is the shit. People don't watch NXT. Trick Williams, I already see him being already put on the main roster, already being an Intercontinental Champion. I can already see him as a U.S. Champion. And stuff like that. If you're coming into my stream, I went on a tyrant a little bit because this stuff I had to get off my chest. And I finally had to get it off my chest because I get daily comments and I get a lot of comments, a lot of hate comments, and a lot of people telling me that my opinion's wrong. And when you've been sitting for a long while and just going, okay, it eventually is going to annoy the shit out of you. And I have friends that sit back and I'm in lots of communities and I get told that I'm so-called this AEW guy, but I've shit on AEW before. Tonight, they're finally pushing Jeff Hardy a little bit. I see this. What is Jeff Hardy going to do? Are they going to turn him heel? He kind of really fucked himself over with the drugs and the drinking. Does Tony Khan trust him now to finally pull a trigger on him? Who knows? Again, the whole Scissor Me Gang thing, I thought it's an amazing thing, but these guys got to start defending their titles every week or start doing something. They got to build. They got 3 weeks before. I think they got 4 weeks before Revolution. They got to do things. They kind of put in motion Sting and Darby going after the tag team belts. They started with that tonight. I thought that was brilliant. Nick and Mac Jackson being heels. I like what they're doing with that, but it's a little bit, on my opinion, a little too late. But I understand why they're doing it now. They're building it up for Revolution. Now we got to have Nick and Mac Jackson in the ring so we can get these guys some wins. Start building them up so we can have this feud at Revolution with Sting and Darby. We got to do the things to build the things up. You know, so I hope maybe in the next 3 weeks they start building some motion into this. Where AEW does well is these quick matches where they just go right into it, and that's what their bread and butter is. Telling a story in the ring without any story. That's where they're more of sports-centric than they are actual story. That's the difference between them and WWE. WWE works on storylines throughout months at a time, where AEW really don't build a story. They just give it to you. They give you wrestling. Kind of like, how can I reference it to? It's hard because it's hard to reference something to it because it's kind of like that, a boxing. It's like open fighting. They just go with it. And a lot of people don't like that. Unfortunately, people want traditional wrestling, and what traditional wrestling is storylines for 7 weeks. and a beginning, middle, and end, and then like it gets drawn out for like a whole year, like a soap opera, kind of like General Hospital. Till he's injury and catching up to him. I think they're building up Jeff Hardy for a storyline where he turns heel. I didn't really see Jeff looking exhausted or anything. It just looks like Jeff is setting up for a heel turn. I think Jeff needs to turn heel. Let's just get honest with that one. Jeff's got to do something because Jeff looks like he should retire. And I'm going to be honest, Jeff Hardy looks like he's ready to retire. He don't look like he's last couple losses, man. I've kind of stated Jeff Hardy kind of needs to, they need to redo what he needs to do with him. They need to hit the reset switch, turn him heel or something. But tonight, it was an okay showing from him. They're building up this loss record with him. So I'm hoping maybe they do something with him losing and he snaps and does something heelish because they need to turn him heel at this point. They need to do something with Matt and Jeff Hardy. They got to have something for both of these guys. This is one thing I will say about AEW. This is what there's 3 things tonight that I will tell you. First and foremost, what the fuck were they doing with Dealer's Choice? Let me be real with that. What were they doing with Dealer's Choice? No more 20-foot bombs. Well, that's Jeff Hardy's bread and butter. That's the thing. Jeff Hardy will never stop that. It's like Steve-O. I would compare Jeff Hardy to Steve-O. Steve-O will never stop doing the death-defying stunts. Jeff Hardy won't. You take that away from him, you might as just tell Jeff Hardy to retire at that point. Jeff Hardy will never stop doing that as much as Darby Allin not killing himself. Unfortunately. And Darby Allin said his career is going to be like, he's openly said on interviews that his life expectancy is only going to be 30. Like he did say that. He said his career, he said he'd probably go like 10 years. And then he said after that, he probably will sit down and retire because his body would be better and bruised. Man, I even like Hook's. Okay, looking at Hook's name, his name is Tyler. My goodness, I like Tyler more than Hook. Go look up his name online. You'll see Hook is literally a nice name. Where was I? Oh, here we are. So Jeff Hardy got beat. Hangman Adam Page, Tola Lalona. Tola Lalona is part of the embassy. He's great shit. You'll see him more on Ring of Honor than you will see on AEW. Unfortunately, Hangman got fed the middle of the road guy in the trios of the embassy. I was really shocked there was no Brian Cage here. But Brian Cage, again, how much are you going to... It would be predictable if they fed Brian Cage to Hangman Page. You would just be a fool to do so here. So, yeah, there's that. Hangman Page did win. Warlow with the Undisputed Kingdom defeats Commander, not surprised. This was another one. Commander's being featured. Like, you want to see a talent? People tell me Tony Khan don't feature talent enough. Commander that they signed over 6 months ago has been featured a shit ton. Here's your example. Commander, and people are going to go, well, he's a lucha. Actually, he was an actual star in AEW. Or, sorry, AAA. A lot of people don't watch AAA. And by the way, you notice something? I'm going to give you guys a little tip here. Or not a tip, but I'm going to tell you guys, have you noticed AAA at all? No. You haven't seen AAA. Let me tell you why. Because they're following New Japan. So New Japan Pro Wrestling, right? Partners with CMLL. CMLL has been working with AEW for a minute. Last few weeks, CLML. And the talent that they have coming from CLML, a lot of people don't watch CMLL. I do. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm a smart mark. I'm sorry. I watch every wrestling promotion on the earth. Sorry. Not sorry. CLMLL, literally no joke, is a lucha company, but it's I think it's their partner company to New Japan, and they're very good. but nobody really watches CMLL. CMLL is really good. They I believe they have Sin Cara over there, I think. They have a few talents over on CLML is really good. I wouldn't be surprised if AEW did some talent exchanges with them. So there's that. And by the way, shout out to WWE. Shout out to WWE, honestly. This whole TNA partnership, they're talking about Bianca Belair going over to TNA and Jordynne Grace and her going at each other and letting these wrestlers be wrestlers and the moves. Shout out to Triple H for that's a Triple H move, and you're going to see more of that going forward because TNA is under the Endeavor umbrella. If you guys didn't know that, now you know. TNA Plus on Endeavor. By the way, if I had the money, I would buy Endeavor Plus. I would buy Endeavor Plus or TNA Plus that's on the Endeavor Network, just to watch their shows and stuff. Will AJ Styles be back at TNA? Probably not. I think AJ Styles will finish his career, be in the Hall of Fame in AEW. Shout out to the Fatal Streams. I know he was talking about The Fiend, and I had a chance to think about it, what he said last night. And shout out to the Fatal Streams on this. I see your point. I had a chance to think about it. I see your point when it comes to The Fiend. But here's the thing. It's Cody's time, so they got to feature the bread and butter. And I know you don't want to hear that. But I think next year, I think they could do a whole thing with The Fiend and Brody Lee. I think they really could. Or man, I call him Brody Lee, but I'm so used to forgot what his name was in WWE, but it'll come to me. But yeah, Wardlow's squashing Commander. I'm not surprised. Again, Commander's good shit, but again, you gotta build Wardlow. Wardlow's gonna be your next guy. You gotta start building Wardlow for wins. So what they're doing is they're gonna have Wardlow beat a bunch of people, and they're gonna make Wardlow look strong. Now, where was it? Who was Wardlow going against? I think it was one of them on AEW. I forgot. Last week. It was a week where Wardlow looked really, really, really bad, and Wardlow almost got beat. You're going to have those matches with Wardlow. Wardlow's not going to go through people like a Brock Lesnar-esque all the time. Okay? But yeah. Sorry, I'm not reading the whole entire my notes, each move, and going into depth like some people. Punk needs to call it quits. He's even has one match without getting hurt. Again, shit happens in wrestling. I mean, look at Kenny Omega with diverticulitis. Look at John Cena tearing his pec. Look at Cody Rhodes pulling his pec. At the end of the day, I had a chance to think about it, and I was kind of harsh on CM Punk. And sometimes I need to take a chill pill when I shit on wrestlers sometimes. Yes, CM Punk is injury prone, and I said that going into WWE, but I don't wish any harm to any wrestler. I want to see CM Punk come back stronger than ever. I want to see him hold a championship. You know, I call CM Punk a hypocrite, and sometimes I say he fucked AEW, but I understand it, and I get why he did what he did. He's got a big payday, and I want to see him be successful. You know, I want to see Jey Uso get a championship. I want to see, I want to see Gunther with a champ. I want to see Gunther with the whole enchilada. I think, you know, Gunther deserves it at this point. I really think, and here's my early thing. I think Cody's gonna go against Roman. I think they've settled on that. I think Seth will go against Gunther. I really think that's what they're going for. That's what reports are saying. I have to go with the reports on that because Gunther is bigger than light right now. Punk and Rollins would be awesome. I would have loved to seen it. I was all for it. But I think Punk pulled an audible, like people were saying, he pulled an audible. I love Punk, and I always have. But he's injury prone. And it's unfortunate like that. You know, like you can't sit there and predict what's going to happen in wrestling. It's like It's like what's happened with Shane a couple years ago. He went right into the ring and tore both of his quads. It's like Seth Rollins in the match, what he did with Jinder Mahal, landing wrong on his knee and his knee bent back. You know, you can never predict wrestling, man. You can never predict injuries when they're going to happen, unfortunately. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, I want Punk to come back healthier. I want Punk to be strong. It's best for business. I know I shit on Punk a lot. I say Punk's this, that, and the third. You know, I give Punk all this grief because, you know, that's what he's brought, that aura that he's brought. But at the end of the day, I don't want to see any wrestler. It hurts the fans. Braun Breaker should take the title off of Gunther, for sure. I agree with that. I'm actually with you on that. I think him or if they wanted to, you could do Jey Uso and you could have Jimmy and Jay go at each other for the title. I think that would be perfect, honestly. I think it would be very, very perfect. I wouldn't say no to those ideas. I think Braun Breaker's good shit. Braun Breaker should have been in WWE main roster long ago, honestly. So let's get back into this. Tony Schiavone has a backstage sit down with Ricky Starks, Big Bill, formerly known as Big Cass, Darby Allin, and Sting before their tag team title match next week. We all know what this is so These are one things I wish that wasn't so predictable. This is predictable. If you know what's happening, Ricky Starks and Big Bill are going to get fucked over, and Sting and Darby are going to be your champion. Then they're going to go into this, and I really hope, you know, what I hope for, and this is what I hope for when it comes to AEW. They just have Sting win at Revolution. I know I'm going to be watching it with a group of people. I've said on my streams I wouldn't be doing watch-alongs anymore. But I'm probably going to look like a hypocrite. I'm probably going to sit with people and watch it. And I'm just really hoping Sting gets to keep the belts. Tony Khan just does the right thing. Let him have the belt. And, you know, he walks away with the belt and puts his boots in the ring. And then they have a complete send-off. Don't get me wrong. I think the Bucks winning the titles will be cool too. But I think Sting and Darby should just go into the sunset. And let Sting just have the titles. Retire and make new titles. I would be okay with this. New design titles. And then just introduce them and have maybe, you know, tournaments, ranking systems, something like that, where they, and I know I sound shitty with that one, but I just want to see Sting get wined and dined. If it's his last match, I want it to be long. I want Sting to be happy, and I want to see him get, the send-off that he deserves. I know for a fact that night when he does retire, for me, and I'm going to be real with you guys, and I'm a huge Sting mark, and I've always been my whole life since I started watching wrestling. I'll probably cry. Let me tell you guys that I'll probably cry. I'm for real about that. I will probably cry because, you know, Sting was my child and it's an end of an era. It's like when I'm seeing some of my singers nowadays that I grew up with as a kid, and I'm like, damn, they're getting old, and it's like I'm getting old, and it's like seeing Sting retire is like, you know, an end of an era for me as a wrestling fan. Darby has a heel run. I hope not. I hope Darby, you know, and Sting win, and, you know, they do the things, and Sting gets his roses, and, you know, and then Darby can turn heel on the next Dynamite or something like that. I'd be okay with that too. Like I said, I love Sting. I've been a Stinger my whole life, or my 32 years of living. Oh, and fun fact, by the way, guys, and I'm gonna say this on stream. So Okada, I watched his Okada, right? I watched his last match last night before I went to bed. I said I was going to bed, and I sat back and I went to sleep, and then I watched a little bit of that New Japan, and then when they were retiring the belts and watching them cry kind of made me cry. I don't know. I'm very weird. Maybe I'm just a pussy in life, but I sat back and I cried. You know, that man put 17 years into that company, and they didn't offer him up anything, which was really depressing to hear. But the door is always open for him, and I think I cried when he cried. Because I felt that, because I've been an Okada fan more than I remember when he was in TNA being garbage. And then they brought him into New Japan, and I remember when he was Young Lion, and then they brought him up. You know, I've lived every match of Okada. Okada has put on 5 to 6 star matches. I remember him and Tamahashi. And like I said, I know I'm going off track on this on this AEW review. This is what you guys get with me. You get the good, the bad, and the ugly with me. So, like I said, Chris Jericho defeating Ring of Honor Championship with Powerhouse Hobbs. Does that mean Chris Jericho's champion? I was very confused by it. Very, 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 very confused. One week on Dynamite, Jericho gets the spinning Judas effect on the... Wait, I was confused. Was this a non-title match or was this a title match for the Ring of Honor? Before somebody tells me in my own stream that, oh my God, Chris Jericho and okay, what? Well, Billy, was it a championship match? I watched it. Was it a championship match? Did he win the championship belt? I was very confused. No title match. Okay, I wanted to make sure because when he was coming out and they were saying this is Ring of Honor champion, and then they were like setting it up like it was a Ring of Honor championship match. I was like, oh shit, they're doing that on television. That's kind of cool. Kadeshita, I like Kadeshita. Now, hopefully, I'm saying his name right. I like him. I think that's you want to talk about Hook, right? Let's talk about a talent that's been really underutilized in AEW. And I think Pesci likes Kadeshita. That's a talent. That is a talent that's been underutilized in AEW. You want to talk about somebody that needs to be featured more is Kadeshita. Honestly, he should be your international crown champion at this point. And by the way, I like Eddie Kingston, but it's time for Eddie Kingston to lose one of those belts. I'm just pointing out. I'm just saying, I love Eddie Kingston. I think he's great at talking on the mic, but it's time for him to lose a belt. It's just, to me, his matches are all becoming the same, and I'm all for that. I am all for the underdog thing with him, but it's time for him to lose the belt. At least one of them. And the international crown I'd be okay with. Kadeshita would be one person you would want him. They're going to set up for Bryan Danielson. I get it. I don't agree with that idea, but that's what AEW is going for. Now, I'm wondering with the ranking system. So this is what I'm wondering. Are they going to have ranking systems for different divisions? How are they going to do this ranking system? Because they talked about the ranking system, top guys, right? Swerve Strickland, Adam Page, right? Tony Khan needs to... you got Okada penciled in for... And Kadeshita for a match at Revolution. So you're really thinking Okada's going to AEW. Because reports are saying that Okada met with WWE officials yesterday night after NXT. He met with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and somebody else high up. And they had like a discussion for 4 hours. I guess the meeting was like 4 hours long. So I'm kind of a little nervous. And I'm going to say this to all my AEW fans. I want to see Okada in WWE. Anybody else here agree with me? I know the casual fans are not going to understand Okada, right? Before people boo and hiss me, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Before I get the boos and I get the hisses and I get people going, wow, you're really going that? The reason I am is because the matches would be better with him in WWE over AEW. Hear me out on that. The reason why I say this, and I know I'm going to hear people, and I'm going to hear people go, please, it's just an opinion. I don't care what ring he's in, but I think he suits more for WWE, the matches he could have. Think about it. Sami Zayn, Okada. Logan Paul Okada. Okada and Roman Reigns. Okada and Braun Breaker. Okada and Shinsuke Nakamura. Okada and AJ Styles. Think about it for a second there. Look at those marquee matchups that would happen in WWE over AEW. AEW, he's done everything in AEW. Honestly, if you want to go there, he's done everything without holding belts. I know people are going to say, weren't you just saying I don't care what ring he's in, but he suits more for WWE if we're going to go there. Big Bang Scissor Gang addresses the fans. I thought that was a good segment tonight. Perfect. I liked what Daddy Ass was doing with his sons. I thought that was really funny, and I thought that was really entertaining. But they got to have these two groups defending titles. Maybe I need to watch more Ring of Honor. Maybe they got something set up over on Ring of Honor. And I haven't watched Ring of Honor in a minute. So I watch all these wrestling stuff, but really I haven't. I watched a little bit of NXT last night on top of the Okada stuff. I think Trick Williams is a fucking amazing thing. I think Ilya Dragunov is good shit. Tiffany Stratton is a fucking star. I'm sorry. Her and Roxanne Perez are stars. I think you bring Tiffany Stratton is going to, they're talking about putting her up on the main roster on Raw. Great moves. Tiffany Stratton, they need people on Raw right now. As far as the women's division goes, they need to do that. Tiffany Stratton for Raw, I'm all for the reports on that one. Getting back to that women's segment again on AEW, I thought it was brilliant. And you're giving Taya Valkyrie something. Taya Valkyrie, I didn't realize from what I was reading, she was suspended by AEW for comments that she used on social media or something like that during a podcast. That's why you didn't see her. That's why you're seeing her in Ring of Honor. She's been taken off of television. It's nice to see her back. Now, if they want to do something with Taya Valkyrie, they have her go up, the ladder in Ring of Honor, because they got to give something to Athena here. Athena has been, and I love Athena. Athena wanted her own division. She wanted to run her own locker room. She's got that with Ring of Honor, which nobody watched. Athena is, honestly, I would tell you, Athena is actually number 5 on my rotation of top women's wrestlers right now. You guys want to know it? I'll give it to you. I say Tiffany Stratton's number 4. Goes Athena at 5, Tiffany Stratton at 4. Now some people are going to go, what the fuck? You're putting Tiffany Stratton there? Watch her matches and understand she's entertainment. That's like Braun Breaker. I have Braun Breaker in my top 10. I think Braun Breaker is a great thing. Give me Athena versus Mercedes ACP. I'd go for that hardcore. If you want to pull a trigger in Ring of Honor and you bring in Mercedes on Dynamite, and if you want to give Diana Perrazzo, I'm probably butchering her name. Revenese, I speak that. If you want to give her a run with the title, then you can have Monet. You can have Monet go into Ring of Honor and beat Athena. Then you bring Athena over. You have Monet. Make Ring of Honor watchable. Because people are going to watch Ring of Honor if there's people over on the other side. That's just a fact. Because there's a lot of Sasha Banks fans, and I'm gonna tell you this: their views will go up. I say by 2%. I don't think it's gonna be big as you people think it is. And I get told, oh, Mercedes. Here's my opinion. Sorry, I just slipped in my mouth. My bad. Here's my opinion on Mercedes. She deserves the bag. Why not? I don't think she wants to be a Dennis Rodman or a fucking Scottie Pippen or a Kukoc in fucking WWE. I've said it all along. I think they're just setting the table in AEW for her. I've said that all along. If she didn't show up in Ring of Honor, if she didn't show up in Hard to Kill, she hasn't showed up on Raw, she hasn't showed up on these places, she's AEW bound. I'm calling that shit now, and I'm still standing by my statements that I've said on my live stream. I said that on my Raw review, and I've said that on my Rumble review. I said literally, if she hasn't showed up in WWE, and WWE did say and stated beforehand that they did not want a contract temper with upcoming talent that's signing with their competitor, That tells me right then and there, this was even before the show even started. Reports came out on that one. And if that's the case, then that fucking tells me that she's AEW bound, and that's the big name they're talking about. Now that could be somebody else. Now, one thing you guys are gonna say, where was House of Black? Where was these people? House of Black is Collision exclusive. So is FTR. They've both stated that. I actually had to go digging on that. Actually, FTR and House of Black are literally Collision exclusive. Same with Adam Copeland. I think he wanted to be more on him and I believe Christian both wanted to be on Collision exclusively. I think. Could be wrong. I don't have any from reading. That's just pure reading online and reading news, reading not news reports, just reading stories online and through YouTube videos. From my understanding, that Edge wanted to be on, or Adam Copeland wanted to be on Collision, and Christian to keep that, keep that show kind of flowing with views. But people are going to tell me that show had the weakest. By the way, before people turn around and tell me that the views are bad on AEW side, right? And this is the thing. They're going to be even worse when the Super Bowl is happening. You guys know this, right? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because the Super Bowl is probably going to get millions and millions of people to watch. So wrestling is just going to be put on the back end. Most people are going to record it. Like, guys, honestly, I record wrestling and I watch it back. My view is not even being counted on DirecTV stream. A lot of you need to understand that. I don't know why people are like talking about these views when 20% of the views are not even being counted. If you're a DVR, those tape views are not even being counted. They're not even considering it as live views. They're just considering it as a view later on. So views are not being counted. And I've said that to people before. And people want to sit here and argue with me, tell me, oh, I read this site. This site said 250,000. Yeah, but you guys got to put in factor. Do you read the whole article? Whole article will say to you that DVR views are not counting. Things are not counting properly. So that there could be 75,000 more people that watch that. So again, I say this all the time about, I should go into depth about views, how they're dying, how cable television is dying. Cable television is dying, ladies and gentlemen. And I love how people tell me this all the fucking time. Wrestling, national television. Well, okay, then why did WWE go sign with Netflix? Tell me why. Let me tell you something. Streaming services are becoming a lot like cable, where they're bundling. Do you not notice when you go like DirecTV Stream, right? Let me give you an example. DirecTV Stream, right? Literally was bundling me with Hulu and Disney and Max and this, that, and the third. So this is me being honest. I don't pay for cable or streaming TV. I live at home, right? That I caregive and whatnot. Somebody in my house, aka my mother, she's all about this old school. It was like an arm and a leg trying to cut the cable. We have an Apple TV box. She loves the Apple products. I have an Android box. I actually like Google products. Let me make sure none of my equipment fires off. I prefer Google stuff before anything else. I'm actually thinking about getting an S24 Ultra. I'm thinking about it. Don't quote me. Oh, before people, my iPhone brethren out there, before people go and cry. Oh my God, you're supposed to be an Apple guy. No. I like my iPhone, but I'm starting to realize battery life. Man, I do these IRL streams, right? These walking IRL, walk jog streams, and my battery life just gets killed. So, anyway, off topic, but these views that all of you guys talk about all the time, right? Everybody talks to me about these fucking views with AEW. AEW is dying. You guys all sound like the same people that said TNA was dying years ago, and TNA is still here. You're the same very people. And what's funny is Anthem doesn't have all the money in the world, but they make do. Tony Khan could condense down AEW, right? And do what Vince McMahon did back in the day with the Manhattan Ballroom and small little dinky arenas and be okay with that. Again, like I said, I don't know why people are saying AEW needs to die or AEW needs to go. I don't want to see another monopoly like I did years ago when there was no AEW and it was only WWE and just everything else. That's why I stopped watching wrestling, because it became the same. That's why I like alternatives like TNA and NWA and MLW. I was a huge Lucha Underground fan. Like, I was so grateful Lucha Underground was around. Like, I think some of you just need to quit on this whole AEW die shit. AEW is going to be perfectly fine. They just need to get their attendance up, and I said this to friends of mine yesterday. The thing with AEW is they got to literally get you invested in the matches. I don't have a standpoint on politics, buddy. When it comes to religion or politics, man, I don't. To be honest with you, I really don't. What's up, Charmin? I hope you're doing well, buddy. But I don't have a comment on that, and I won't say that in my stream either. To be honest with you, when it comes to religion and politics or what's going on in the world, I don't cover that stuff and I don't talk about that stuff. That's between me, myself, and I. Because politics and religion piss off everybody. Just like talking about AEW or favorite football teams and college teams, people get pissed off all the time. I don't put my politics out there. I don't put my standpoint on anything to do with that kind of stuff, to be honest. That's me being real with you guys. I get asked what my politics standpoints are and my religious standpoints and how I feel about this, that, and the third, and how I feel about the world. And to be honest with you, I care less. To be honest, I'm just a I'm a nomad, man. Like, honestly, I'm just a nomad that one day, hopefully, I go that van life direction and go place to place and travel like Kung Fu, man, and get to meet fucking people. By the way, Kung Fu's being remade. And by the way, to those fucking people, you better be doing it right. David Caroline, man, you better be doing it right. You better be serving that man justice in the grave. I tell you that right now. I'll be fucking making videos if that shit's fucking horrendously garbage. You will see me on this channel ranting about Kung Fu being garbage. All right, enough of me saying about Kung Fu. Let's get back into talking AEW a little bit. Diana Perazzo defeats Taya Valkyrie with Johnny TV. Not surprised. They got to build her up again, put a marquee name there. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I get those comments a lot, buddy. Don't worry about it. I get those comments a lot. Yeah, I got you. I feel that. That would be wild. That would be fucking wild. Jim Cornette and AEW. That would be fucking wild. I wouldn't. I would actually laugh so hard if Jim Cornette was in AEW. And I'm not the biggest Jim Cornette fan, but I know of him, and when he was part of Ring of Honor, that shit was hilarious. You guys can have it out in the chat about politics and shit like that. I honestly, you guys already got my standpoint. Anyway, I'm drinking this beautiful Mexican chocolate coffee stuff. It's pretty good. It's actually really good, actually. Swerve defeats Rob Van Dam. Are we surprised about that? Rob Van Dam just came in and he was like an informant, literally a enhancement talent, honestly. Do we give a fuck? Is the best in the business? I'll feel you. I don't watch enough of Jim Cornette, honestly. I don't. I watch a lot of wrestling stuff, but I don't really watch this stuff like that. I'll catch it here and there when I'm taking a shower or, washing my ass. But I don't really watch him like that. Honestly, I don't. The person I watch a lot of, if you guys want to go there, is I watch a lot of JD from New York. Actually, in fact, I watch a lot of... Now, before somebody tells, oh my God, you watch that fucker? I enjoy his content. He fulfills my needs when it comes to outside of doing my own stuff. He fulfills my needs when it comes to talking wrestling. Same with Solid Monster. I'm a VIP member there. Hell yeah. Yeah, like I would subscribe to JD from New York. I'd actually pay for a membership just because I enjoy his stuff. You don't know what you're missing out on. You should be watching Cornette. He delivers. I mean, probably he does. It's just Jim Cornette's just not my taste of show, you know? Don't get me. Hey, do not get me wrong. Jim Cornette's for a lot of people. It's just not my style. Not for me. But, you know, my taste is different than most taste. You know what I mean? When it comes to stuff. You think AEW will die in 2024? No. AEW is probably going to get a TV rights deal probably with the same people, Warner Discovery. Because here's the thing, Warner Discovery honestly is going after the NBA right now, and the NBA wants a shit ton of money. I think they can get AEW on the cheap. If not, I could see Amazon coming in and possibly putting a stake into AEW. Ango, BC Amplified. Ango's great shit too. BC Amplify I like. I like his whole spigot with the whole Dunkin' Donuts. I really like that, where he has to have Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I'm surprised he hasn't been sponsored yet by those people. Don't go on the product if they don't have more. See, what a lot of people don't realize, they can dumb down their product. See, AEW could dumb down their product, right? They can go into smaller arenas. I don't think they'll take that much of a hit if they do. I just think Tony Khan has rented out these spaces for his show, and he's obligated. You know what I mean? Is Tony Khan next week? Is Tony Khan announcement next week? Is there an announcement next week? I didn't even know. Have missed? No. I don't think they have. You got to understand, like, I'm going to say this, yes and no. I will say 50-50 on that. Yes in some ways and no's in others. I should rephrase what I just said. Yes and no. So Jay White, for instance, right? I'm glad he got a 6-man title. I'm glad they're doing this whole thing with the Acclaim. They're kind of filling in two groups, and there'll be one mega Bullet Club. That's what they're going for. The Bang Bang Gang is technically, and the Acclaim, right? The Scissor Me Timber thing and all that, and the Bang Bang Gang. It's technically what they did in New Japan. You know, it's technically what they did in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Technically when they merged two people into it. Never knew him before AEW, so I don't know if he is LOL. So Jay White had his own faction, the Bullet Club. He was the leader before he got removed for Dave Finlay. If you guys don't know who Dave Finlay is, that's Fit Finlay's son. Shouldn't be in a 3-way. I agree with that. But I understand why they're doing it to an extent. Because they gotta fulfill this Swerve Strickland stuff at this point. Here's how I see AEW as a whole, right? In the next 4 months. And hear me out on this one. And please take me with a grain of salt. So, here's my opinion. He should be in Adam Cole's place. He's trash. Adam Cole, he's trash. Are you saying Adam Cole's trash? Well, Adam Cole's injured. I think Adam Cole's good shit. But that's my opinion. And if you don't like Adam Cole, I understand. Adam Cole hasn't done anything great yet. And Adam Cole lost his momentum when MJF went out of the business. That's my personal opinion. Jay White was the leader of the Bullet Club after they kicked Kenny out. Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. I agree 50% of that when it comes to Jay White, right? Jay White should be further along than he is, but he got some prominent victories and he's 6-man championship. So I get it. Not the ones that you guys expect. And I agree with that. I think he should be AEW's Trios champion more than anything. I think he should be International Crown. That's my personal opinion. I think if you really wanted to go there, I've said this all along about the International Crown. Why do you have Bryan Danielson there? Why do you have Danielson in the conversation of an International Crown Championship belt? Honestly, there's better people there to take that off of Eddie Kingston. And I've said this, Eddie Kingston should lose his belt at this point. I'm honest about it. Eddie Kingston, it's the same thing with him. They're doing the same shit with him. I'm not saying Eddie Kingston. I like Eddie Kingston. I like what he has to offer. But it's the same thing. It's the underdog story. It's the Rocky Balboa shit. And to me, you could take that off of him, the International Crown. Honestly, if you really want to take it, everybody tells me about Hook. Have Hook win the International Championship. You had him go against Samoa Joe. He looks great. Joe put him over. They had an excellent match. Put Hook over there. Have him win the International Crown. Honestly, I'd be okay with that. And honestly, what they should do with the FTW belt, don't have this man carry this. Have this man retire it. What he should do in front of his dad, and this is my personal opinion. Here's what I think Hook should do. Hook should turn heel. Get the crowd to boo him. Take a trash can, go in front of his father, set it on fire, and put the fucking belt in the trash. And then give him that thug kind of fucking, like he goes, Dad, I fucking hate your belt. In the trash it goes, set it on fire, right in front of his dad. And then he turns around to his dad on the next week. He turns around and goes, Dad, I'm the new guard. You're the old guard. You were once was. I'm now. You know, they could do something like that. I don't know why they ain't. That would put Hook over so hard, but they don't. Because Tony Khan thinks he needs to be a face, and I'm like, I don't agree with him. His face run has not been good. The crowd's over, but I like to see him turn on his dad. I think it would be perfect. Turn on his dad, or, spit in the face of your own family. Kind of pull like what a Dominic Mysterio did to his dad. Set the belt on fire, and tell his dad to go F himself. I think it would be perfect. I know a lot of you are not going to agree with me with that one, but I've said that. Hook has got to do better things. Hook should win the International Crown off of Eddie Kingston. I've said that all along. He should. You want to give that man a payoff? Sammy Guevara. That's another person you can have win the international belt. That Intercontinental Crown Championship belt, right? That should be prestigious, honestly, at that point. They made it out to be like this big, prestigious thing. All I've seen Eddie Kingston fight is on Rampage and Ring of Honor with those 3 belts. I think he's due to lose a title, and I think the International Crown should be lost at some point. I think on television. I don't think Eddie Kingston deserves a main event spot like that on our pay-per-view. And you get somebody else to hold that belt real nice. You want to talk about 2 talents this year alone that got sick, Kenny Omega and CM Punk. Unfortunate situations. Kenny Omega has not been healthy. You want to talk about a wrestler that's not been healthy in a minute is Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega has been hurt more than been up. Let's just get real here with that. Like, for real. You want to talk about unfortunate circumstances. Kenny Omega and CM Punk can't buy themselves healthy years yet. But I did say this earlier, and I will say this again and again and again. I did shit on CM Punk. I did say in my videos I shit on him in his injury, and I said all this shit. I wish him well in health, and I want him to come back. It's best for business. Like, I'm pulling for him. Seriously. But yeah, that's my personal opinion on that and Kenny Omega and things like that. Rob Van Dam was just an enhancement talent tonight, and I apologize that some of you don't see that, but he looked good. But again, he's just there to put over Swerve. Like, is Rob Van Dam part of the company or not part of the company? And that's the thing. And, at the end of the day, to me, you should have him part of your company. Maybe a producer or something of the range. But to be squashed, not my thing. I don't like when they do that with Dustin Rhodes either, and I get why they do it. It's to put over talent. I think Dustin Rhodes should be a champion at some point in the company. But, hey, what do I know? Let's see here. Basically, Paige and Swerve Strickland faced each other technically, and they went back and forth. Basically said he called him a bastard, I think it was, and he said that he was going to finally get the win one-on-one. You're not going to have your cronies coming at me and things like that. So next week, honestly, Swerve Strickland, Adam Page is going to be a good match, but I'm thinking it's going to be a fuck finish. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's going to be a fuck finish. I could be wrong, but I think they're going to go to a draw, which would make sense. And then you have a triple threat. And to all my friends that don't like, or all the people in my community that don't like Samoa Joe, here's where you give Swerve Strickland his roses and his parade, and you have him win the belt right off the rip. There's your winner, chicken dinner. I make this prediction. It's going to be Adam Page, Joe, and Swerve Strickland. You have Swerve Strickland pin Adam Page. You protect Joe. That's the way you go with it. Win-win situation. And then you could set up possibly him incoming in Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. You could set that up. You can have them feuding for a while. And you can have, and I know, and people didn't want to hear this from me. I think it's a mistake they're going to do that. I think they're pulling the trigger too soon on Swerve. I think they're pulling too soon on that because you got All In coming in, I think April. I think it's April, right? And you have him lose the belt right off. You're going to have him hold it for 2 months and then have him lose. I don't know why people are so gung-ho with this guy being champion. When you want Swerve to hold it for 6 months, maybe 4 months or so, 2 months, that's not it for me, Chief. If they're going that way. Keep that in mind. Hopefully Swerve gets the victory. Swerve moves on. Swerve beats Joe. Or Swerve loses to Joe. I mean, AEW booked themselves in a conundrum with the whole fucking title to begin with. And okay, one other thing I want to say to AEW, and this is what I'm scratching my head on. Where the fuck is the Suicide Squad title that they were talking about? Warner Brothers Discovery promoted that they had a fucking Suicide Squad title coming. There was leaks and images of this shit. Where the fuck is the title? Samoa's in the game. Why are you not giving him this title? But unless he's going to lose the belt at some point real quick. And I think that's what they're going to do. Again, I can't answer, and this is another thing. I don't know where Monet is going to be. That's one thing. If you guys are coming in asking me, oh, where's Monet tonight? And where's the... Look, I can't answer that for you. I don't know where Monet is going to be. I really think... Monet is going to be in AEW. They're just sat in the table. Again, the original, from what I read online about Monet, and this is my reading and what I, as a person reading, I don't do that whole Facebook image shit that people do, the Facebook images, and they just read what they want to hear. I don't do that shit. I don't do the Instagram, so I go read a full article. And from my understanding, that Mariah May is supposed to get fucking sabotaged by fucking Tony Storm, and Monet's coming in to save her, and that's how her debut's going to be. Supposedly, speculation. That's from online. I could be completely wrong. And don't believe what you hear online. Same with gaming. Don't believe everything you hear. Speaking of gaming, PlayStation did Sony did their State of Plays. Silent Hill 2 remake looks really good. Can't wait. Helldivers 2 looks great, honestly. So there's my gaming sense. Sorry. Sorry, I had to throw my gaming sense in a fucking wrestling review. But yeah, that's the show for AEW. Honestly, review score, I'm gonna go 7.75. I'm gonna be a B minus tonight for them. C average. I said the same thing. I gave Raw a higher score this week. I think I did. I think I gave Raw an 8.5. I think an 8.75. I think I was real honest. I liked what they did. They kind of set the table for Cody. I really think they threw us a swerve. And I think, I think they did a lot of good things on Raw. Honestly, they set a lot of tables up on Raw for Braun Breaker, and with Tiffany Stratton coming, I think Raw is going to get better and better. By the way, I don't, guys, I'm probably going to hear from people tomorrow about the views that are going to come in about AEW. I don't care. I really don't care. I'm really caring about the quality of wrestling. If it's good, I'll watch. If it's terrible, I won't watch. That's why I don't watch Rampage often. I really don't. I don't watch Rampage often because it's always boring. And it's an hour long, and it's like I just can't invest myself into something that I don't find being entertaining towards me. It's the same with Collision. There's weeks that I'll watch it, or there'll be days that I'll watch it on, like, when I wake up in the morning on a Sunday, because it's just like I have better things to do on a Saturday, and I think that's what a lot of people. I have better things to do on a Saturday. Like, I know with football season coming to an end. Go Chiefs! Go Chiefs! Go Chiefs! I'm rooting because half of my family are Chiefs fans. So there you go. You hear my predictions. I think Chiefs are going to blow the shit out of the 49ers, but that's just my opinion. Take that with a grain of salt. Shaman, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Honestly, I like Jay White. Jay White, I know a lot of people don't watch the indie scene. I know a lot of people don't watch what Matt Cardona's doing right now. I know a lot of people don't watch NWA. I think EC3 should be out of fucking NWA. I think personally. Vintage, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the subscribe, dude. I appreciate you. Sorry that nothing came up on my screen because I don't have anything. I'm usually recording my reviews as reviews. I'm recording it, not going live. So I'm trying to go live more often with these reviews, and I got a lot of you that have been watching my reviews. I ain't no JD from New York. Trust me, I ain't no JD from New York. I will never be on his level. I'll never be on Jim Cornette's level. I'll be on the Rev level. And the Rev levels, I speak Carbonics half of the time. And supposedly I'm an AEW apologist, and I'm a fanboy for AEW. But you guys came to my review and you guys heard me say that AEW is a C average this week for me. I wasn't blown away. And AEW C average is not bad. But I'm probably going to be told by somebody about their views tomorrow morning. I'm probably going to be DM'd. Oh, they reviewed, the Nation review, came out and said that they sucked. Their key demographic, you see their key. Again, guys don't realize, here's what you guys don't realize is Netflix. I want to see those same very people talk about views when Netflix comes out and WWE starts showing up on their product. I want to hear about those views some more. Because I'm making this prediction now. I think in 4 years' time, national television is dead. I think cable providers are dying. I think a lot of people are cutting the cord at an alarming rate, and a lot of people are now getting it through streaming. I think cable set-top boxes and things like that is a dying breed. I honestly think, having way too many, like I was talking to my neighbors, right? And they've been long-term Dish Network people, right? And I was asking them, what keeps you there? And they go, nothing. They don't like the fact that when the cable box goes out, they have to, have a guy come out. And they were talking about the satellite having too many cables. They like just having the stream stick and going, like a Roku stick and go. So to me, to you guys, that's your key demographic that still watches the NFL and shit like that. So speaking on other topics, Tiffany Stratton is supposed to be supposedly getting moved up on the main roster of Raw, and supposedly WWE is working out some type of workaround with the TNA to possibly do a Bianca Belair and Jordan Grace match. They're working out details on that. From what I was reading. I'm cool with that. Bianca Belair and but again, how do you book that? Who do you have win in that situation? You have a TNA wrestler win that? I don't know how they're gonna book that if that goes that way. But Triple H looks like he's all in on that TNA. But the reason why they are is because they're signed with Endeavor for that streaming rights TV deal that they have going on. So that's probably why. Again, Swerve Strickland. The AEW booked themselves in a hard spot, man, with the title. I'll tell you that now. AEW is finding ways to book themselves hard. And they're going to justify it. And I'm going to tell you guys this too. They're going to justify it by the ranking system. Oh, the ranking system. But Swerve's got 2 victories on Adam Page. But I guess they're saying they're hitting the reset switch on AEW. I guess that's what they're doing. And that's what they're going to go with. They're just going to say it's just a ranking system. I hope it's separate ranking systems for separate shows. Like Ring of Honor has their own and things like that. So tomorrow, guys, you guys are getting from me tomorrow an IRL stream. If I'm not streaming all night tonight, as far as game streaming. After this, I'm going to be going live with game streaming. I kind of got a late start today because I kind of slept in. I slept in until about like 11 o'clock. And I kind of just slept all the way through, and I didn't really think about, I was relaxing, primarily sleeping my ass off because I've been working out so hard. But yeah, tomorrow is Thursday. TNA, I'll probably review TNA tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be live. I don't know if it's going to be live or it will be something for you guys. I don't know yet. I haven't decided on that. But I did go off on a tangent earlier. If you were watching my show earlier, I went on a tangent. And again, I'm not sorry for what I said. I am absolutely not sorry for what I fucking said. I meant every word of it. I review more shows than the most people. I review TNA every week. I review WWE Raw and SmackDown every week. I review every PLE that's out. I sometimes review New Japan Pro Wrestling. Sometimes I review GCW time to time. I review MLW time to time. So, you know, I'm all over the place, but I do review a lot of wrestling, and I do cover, I don't do one big news video like some of these channels do. I do it in separate videos because I don't want to go in and timestamp everything and go into the timelines, and, you know, I don't want to do any of that stuff. That's not for me. I would rather do it as separate videos, you know, quick little videos. Means, you know, that you guys come watch, gets through and through the algorithm. However, you know, I was hearing that last night. Sorry that my house is going crazy. I apologize. Somebody's screaming at the dogs in my house. So I have a lot of dogs, but we're the dog house in this house. I love my dogs. Got little miniature schnauzers that tear up paper and everything. But yeah. Going forward, you guys are gonna get a lot of game streaming from me. Early morning hours, game streaming. I play Apex, Fortnite, Farlight 84, some of the new games that are out. Like for instance, I don't have a PlayStation 5. I'm mostly PC gaming, but and you guys are getting news articles as far as gaming goes. I got to talk about Activision Blizzard laying off, or Microsoft laying off Activision Blizzard esports people. And a lot of people are pissed about it, but to be honest with you, that's how business works. You can't have two of the same. That's why you're seeing in WWE people being laid off and Endeavor people coming in because Endeavor bought WWE. And you're watching Endeavor people being put into WWE roles where WWE people are getting parachuted, getting golden parachutes and being let go and having different opportunities in different companies. That's why you're seeing like AEW picking up new people, and that's why you're seeing TNA picking up some of the former employees of WWE and stuff like that. So, you know, you're getting those things. People just don't realize, you know, how business works. And, yeah, honestly, and stuff like that. But, yeah, that's it for my show tonight. I want to thank you all. Thanks for the subscribes. Please, honestly, I had to get that off my chest tonight, man. From here on out, man, be kind. Be nice. I'm not about politics or religion or any things like that, man. A lot of you come into my chat and I don't understand sometimes. I'm talking about wrestling. Keep it wrestling. If you're coming into my chat, keep it wrestling. Keep it fun. If you're coming in on my game stream, if you want to talk wrestling, cool. If you want to talk about my Lakers, you want to talk about the Angels, you want to talk about football, I'm a sporting channel too. I don't mind talking these things, but some of you guys and ladies that write me paragraphs, or to some of my friends that want to sit back and have these opinions about me, calm down. Chillax. I love all of you. I love all my friends equally. But it's really annoying when I have to hear about AEW all the time, how much they suck. And I know it's directed at me. I get it. Because people think I'm just this mark for this company. And it's like, it would be like me going up to somebody, right? And this is where my annoyance comes in. It'd be like me going, McDonald's better than Wendy's. And McDonald's is better than Wendy's. And keep saying it over and over. And it's funny at first. And this goes out to my audience. It's funny at first. But then it becomes fucking just really annoying. And I've had to stop my stream. I've had to stop and tell people I'm just going to bench you. And I don't like to bench people in my chat. I like to get to know people. But lately I've had to bench a lot of people in my Twitch. Like people come over to my Twitch. Like I'll be streaming on Twitch, right? And I'll have people come over and just fucking berate me over my opinion sometimes. And it's like, okay, I'm so sorry that my opinion wasn't to your liking. And when it comes to ratings, I know majority of you like to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about ratings anymore because you guys are like so obsessed. I will not. I will keep it to wrestling news and stuff like that. But I am going to shake up my channel a little bit. I'm going to put a little gaming news in my life and stir it up a little bit about my Angels because the Angel season's coming up here soon. And we're going to be just talking about random stuff, the USFL. Or the UFL. We're going to talk about that on this channel. There's a lot of things I want to talk about. Darvin Ham possibly getting fired. I want to talk about that because my Lakers are shitty right now. And the Clippers doing good things. Hopefully they win a championship this year because they look like a championship team. Hopefully they put it all together. Anyway, my name is Rev Sauce. Again, if you took me serious, I apologize. Seriously, but I just had to get that shit off my chest. It's been bubbling with me for quite some time. So, I'll see you guys in the game stream here in a little bit. I'm going to get some more coffee. I'm going to go chill. And I'm probably going to go catch JD from New York's little stream on the side or his replay and finish where I left off. And I'm going to go watch some, catch up on some BC Amplified and Austin Evans and all my other YouTube stuff before I go live. And I'll see you guys. Peace. Thank you all for coming in. And I appreciate all the subscribes and everything tonight. I probably got some down votes, some thumbs down because, I kind of went savage mode, but it needed to be said. So